Hello, this is Dr. Eve Ruiz, owner of SpiritSpeaks MD YouTube channel. You can also find me on Facebook under Eve Spirit Speaks, as well as on Instagram. I am here to bring you the very next part of episode 3, which is now being drawn out into many parts. This is about dating a narcissist. We are not isolating just people with narcissistic personality disorder in this series. My goal is to provide you with a basic understanding of the different kinds of features or traits that can be experienced by anyone from any person who is showing themselves to be narcissistic in that manner. This way, it's not important whether the person has narcissistic personality disorder. What is important is that you recognize what's going on when it's happening so that you can be aware. Just know that you are dealing with someone who plays by a different set of rules, and that will help you enormously in knowing how to best communicate with that person, how to deal with situations when you are talking to this person, as well as how to resolve situations or how to walk away from them. All right, we have talked about the love bomber. We've talked about the compliment fisher and the conversation hogger. This week, we are talking about the empath eliminator. The empath eliminator does exactly that. Will carry on a conversation when they're trying to impress someone earlier on in a relationship with sounding as though they really care, they're really into you, part of the love bombing. However, once they let their guard down a bit, you may find, perhaps if they are turned around and speaking to a waiter or to some other staff that is serving them, perhaps they are speaking to a stranger. You may notice that they don't seem to behave empathically with them. More to the point, when they're dealing with you, you may notice suddenly something odd in that you may make a request for them to do something more carefully because what they're going to be holding of yours is very valuable. And you may notice a lack of response by them, not just in their body nonverbals, but also in what they say. A long time ago, I remember asking someone to please use a certain vessel to hold certain gifts that I had just received from a brother of mine. And while the gifts themselves did not hold a huge monetary value, they were very important to me because they were given to me with so much love and forethought. I could feel that energy in them. Because these items had glass, I had asked this person in my life to please put them into a bag, the bag I was providing, and to just watch out that they didn't break on the way down the stairs where they were being stored. I cannot tell you how creepy it felt when not only did I see him grabbing or snatching everything up without putting them into any kind of container, and then when I asked for them to go into a container, they were slopped in and almost tossed. I could hear the sounds of the containers going onto a shelf downstairs. Then I heard a crash. At least one of the items had completely broken. The bag itself, which was not carefully handled, was ripped. This person had zero remorse. In fact, had a facial expression that he had been hassled at my request for him to have respected what I had asked. Now, when a person does not show you respect, does not even pretend to act as though he is going to, or she is going to, be careful with your things, be careful with you, or otherwise treat you or your property with respect. There is a lack of empathy here. When they're not sorry about it, they just don't care. They don't care what you think. They don't care how you'd feel if something bad happens. These are not the people who are going to be trying to walk a mile in your shoes. Heck, this person couldn't even go down one flight of stairs into the basement caring about what I had said or about how I had felt. I'm going to give you some other examples. There was someone that I was telling that I'm doing these episodes on dating a narcissist, and she told me about this scenario where she was with an ex-fiance and they were in the snowy country where he was driving her somewhere. There was black ice on the road, there were snowdrifts, and on that snowy night, he said something to the effect of, "It is so annoying to hit somebody, especially right now. If I were to hit somebody right now while driving, I'd be so pissed off because of the time it would take for someone to get here and take care of the body." This was a person who was not making a joke. This was a person who was angry and in a hurry and truly would have been irritated. In fact, he was irritated just at the mention of possibly hitting someone and the inconvenience that would be to him. There are other forms of lack of empathy that can be expressed. All you need to do is listen for what's missing in the picture. The person putting themselves into someone else's shoes. Say in a conversation you have on a date with someone, they start talking about something superficial that has bothered them. It could be something like their dry cleaning wasn't ready on time. It could be something about the teacher didn't listen to his or her excuse about the dog chewing up the homework. Or I guess that doesn't work right now, does it? It would be something to do with the computer glitch, I guess. And then after you respond to whatever it is that they're lamenting about, you talk about something of substance. Something happened to someone in your family. Something came, or you came across bad news that made you feel sad or changed your emotion. Notice if their response does not seem any different when they are responding to your situation, then, or if it doesn't seem even as serious as when they were talking about their more superficial item, that's when you should have alarms going off. When someone is lacking empathy, they're just going on about themselves, their lives, and they're not spending much time at all attempting to connect to yours and what you might be going through. This gets to be more obvious the longer you are with the person. I'm going to give you another experience that can happen. I recently came across this situation where a husband had told his wife, now remember, when husband and wife are in a marital contract, the least they can expect from each other is trustworthiness and respect. Now, picture husband saying to wife, "I'm going to have a friend over who may spend the night." Okay. What time? What's the friend's name? so-and-so who is singing with me at the spiritual center. Then what happens? They have a brief discussion about arrangements, time for arrival, etc. When the wife comes home that evening and sees the family room light on, goes up there to join the pet dogs and the company and the husband. Imagine her surprise at finding this woman in her lingerie, and it appears she may not be wearing her underwear. Later, when she talks alone with that woman to find out what is really going on, and that woman starts verbally abusing her, basically applying some projection. It's projective identification. We have evidence already of some severe aspects of narcissism here with lack of empathy. Turns out, husband was lying to wife. Duh. Even though he knew wife was going to be home that day, still carried on with another woman in the house and still continued to lie to his wife. That's gaslighting, and we can talk about that in another episode. But what I'm showing you is this person was going through great lengths to keep the truth from his wife in order to protect his interest in bedding his lover in their family home while his wife was home. How non-empathic is that? And then we turn to the woman that he brought in, who, when she becomes uncomfortable regarding whether or not she's his lover and deflects the question to the husband, who's already lied about that, she starts saying how very rude the wife is and calls her an effing female dog. This woman is also exhibiting traits of narcissism. Can you imagine walking into someone else's house and having a love affair being acted out while the wife of your lover is home? Who would do that? Anyone who would even begin to empathize with that wife? I think not. So you can see here the acts of narcissism, both male and female, in this situation. I've already given enough examples here so that you get a good idea of what it can be like when you are with someone or working, associating with a narcissist who lacks empathy. This is something that you can be attuned to, and it should immediately raise flags. Next time, we are going to go into yet another quality of a narcissist that you might notice when you are dating one. In the meantime, I wish that you would stay well, be blessed, and most of all, be you. I am available at 949-424-4494 by text for any of you who wish to converse further about someone you're dealing with who may be a narcissist. That is, anyone who is sounding selfish to the degree that you might be being hurt in some way by them. Please contact me and we can set up a time to talk. I am here to serve you, to help you through these situations and beyond them. Once again, Dr. Eve Ruiz, owner of Spirit Speaks. Namaste.